Hi folks, welcome to Moon Hoax. NASA's rover never went to the moon, Volume 3, Tracking the Tracks. Now, as you may have seen in the past, there have been occasions where others have questioned these rovers whereby a track is missing from behind the rover, stating that it could not have been on the moon, it couldn't have been driven there if there's no tracks. So what I've decided to do here now is a full video based on just tracking the tracks. What we're going to be looking at is not just rovers with no tracks behind. We're going to be looking at rovers with tracks behind, but the tracks are fake. And we're going to be looking at tracks where there is no rover, tracks that are genuine and tracks that are fake, all proving that these are nothing but fake photos made here on Earth. Now, before we examine any of these photos, I want you to take a close look at this wheel. This is what they claim they fitted to the rover. Now look at these aluminium grip bars going along. They are riveted to the wire mesh, but follow around the center line of this so-called mesh tire. Notice how the bars form a zigzag all the way around the center of the tire. There is no straight line around the center of the tire, okay? No straight line, nothing that can create a straight line. That is one thing, keep that in mind. Okay, now I want you to take a look at this photo here. This is a section cropped from AS 15-86-11602. Now, what this seems to be showing here is the tracks as they should be from that rover wheel. Notice right down through the center of them there is not a straight line. They are the perfect shape for that wheel. All the indentations are 45 degrees to the line of travel. Now, the question is, what made these tracks? Was it the rover? Or was it something else? Well, what they've done here, the whistleblowers have done something special with these tracks to tell you that it was not done by any rover. Can any of you spot it? Can you spot the clue? Well, if you haven't spotted it, I'll now tell you. Just imagine you're going from right to left with these tracks. You'll find they come to a stop. Both of them come to a stop just under the AS of the photo number. If it was a case of the rover going forward and then reversing back, there would be a scuffle area and a turning pattern by there where it goes from one track onto the next. Well, you can't see any scuffling or any turning effect there. So what I'm going to be doing here is dealing with the photos numerical order. Now we're going to be starting off with magazine 82. Now take a look at this photo. AS 15-82-11056. No rover in sight, but plenty of tracks. Now what I've done here, I've cropped the bottom left corner for this photo 11056. And as you can see from the tracks there, they are impossible to have been created by the rover, because the indentations are 90 degrees to the line of travel. Impossible by the rover, folks. And here it is more clear. There you are. You can see that track here. The one side of it, the left side, the imprints are all 90 degrees to the line of travel, but the right hand side are, as they should be, 45 degrees of travel. And with this one, remember what I just showed you, you cannot have a straight line through the center of the track. It should be a zigzag pattern. So there's another clue, the center line. It's impossible to have been created by that wheel. Okay, the next one we're going to look at here is AS 15-82-11062. And as you can see, it's been photoshopped. Made after 89, folks. And there you can see there is no tracks behind this front wheel. You can also see the grip bars on it are simply airbrushed in white using Photoshop. That's why it's been photoshopped, folks. Okay, here's the next one, AS15-82-11090. Now, what I can tell you about this one, as you can see, it's been photoshopped. Another one that's been photoshopped, folks, and coming up is a close-cropped photo of this rover. And there you are. As you can see, there is no tracks whatsoever behind this rover. It's one I've shown before to be fake. There's no aerial on the astronaut either. And there you are, folks. A cropped and enlarged section, the back of this rover, AS15-82-11168. And as you can see, there is tracks at the back of this rover, but they are both fake. Indentations 90 degrees to the line of travel, folks. Okay, we're now with this photo, AS15-82-11169. Now, the first thing to notice, as you can see here, this photo has been photoshopped. Here you are, as usual. I've cropped the back end of that rover, and what you can see is tracks from the backs of the wheels. The only thing is, they are fake. They are made by hand. They're once again showing the indentations 90 degrees to the line of travel, folks. Now just look at the pattern on the wheels and then look at the pattern on the ground. They are completely fake. Okay, we now come to this one, AS15-85-11413. Now, so far, this seems to be the only photo with a genuine pattern track behind the wheel. But, sorry to disappoint you, as you can see, it's another photo that's been photoshopped. And if you study this track and the wheel, I'm not going to argue about it, but I would say the track is not in line with the wheel. It's inside the wheel, not directly in line. That's a matter of opinion, so that's up to you. Okay, we're now with this photo, AS15-85-11422. Now, this one shows a track behind the right rear wheel, doesn't it? But if you look carefully at the left wheel, there's no track behind the left rear wheel. But as far as this track is concerned behind the right rear wheel, let's take a closer look at it, shall we? There you are, taking a look at a cropped and enlarged area of this rear track. What you can see is right under the wheel, the track is completely fake. It is straight lines right across the width of the track. It's fake there. A bit further down, it's got the genuine V-shape pattern. But down below, there is no track at all. Nothing at all, folks. Look at this photo here. AS15-85-11435. Now, no rover in sight here at all, but what we have got is deliberate whistleblowing at the bottom of the photo. If you look at the bottom left corner, you will see what appears to be genuine 45-degree tracks. But as it goes on to the right hand side, it changes from 45-degree indentations to 90 degrees with a center line down it. They are simply telling you these tracks were not made by a rover, unless they changed the wheel halfway along the page of the photo, I suppose. And here we are, folks, just two shots after the previous photo I showed you. AS15-85-11437. And as you can see here, down in the bottom left hand corner, there's the fake track I showed you in the previous photo. And as you can see behind the rover, there is no tracks whatsoever. Okay, here's the next one. AS15-85-11438. Same rover, just the camera different position. And as you can see, behind these wheels, there is no tracks whatsoever, folks. And here's a cropped version coming up. There you are, there's a cropped section of that rover. And as you can see, there is no tracks. Okay, the next one on the list for Apollo 15, AS15-85-11471. And as you can see, this photo has been photoshopped. But what about the tracks? Well, as I keep showing you, here's a cropped and enlarged version coming up. And what I've done for your convenience, I've added a section of how the tracks should really look like. Okay, we're now on magazine 86. Here's the first one in magazine 86, AS 15-86-11603. And as you can see, this photo has been photoshopped. There you are. Can any of you see any tracks? And can any of you see an enormous amount of boot prints that have obliterated any tracks? Okay, what we've got here, a very, very special photo of the rover. There is no tracks anywhere around this rover. So how did it get there? There you are, folks. There's the next clip to the right. And here's the next thing. This photo has been Adobe photoshopped, made after 1989, folks. Okay, here's a cropped section directly behind that wheel and zoomed up for you. Now, can any of you see any tracks whatsoever behind this wheel? I certainly can't. Okay, what I've done here now is gone to the right of that rover. And what you can see way back from the rover are two sets of tracks. We've got a set of track A and B, and we've got a track from B to C. And here's these two tracks shown pretty clear here, folks. Now, what these two sets of tracks are doing is giving you a whistleblower's clue. Just ask yourself, how could a rover drive around, say, on track A and B, and then be picked up and moved to the other position? What created the other tracks? C to D and E to F. Now what you'll notice from these, the tracks A, B at the top have got no patterns whatsoever in them. And here is a closer look at them. There you are, no patterns whatsoever, folks. Just plain dragged lines made on a computer using Photoshop. Now here's a very big close-up of the other two tracks, C and E. The top one, as you can see, the indentations are 90 degrees to the line of travel. There is no V section, so it is fake. But the bottom one does appear to be the correct pattern. Although when you examine it closely, you can see it's not made by the wheel because it's not even spaced sections, indentations. You can see they've been made up on a computer, no problem at all. Now, coming back to this photo showing the two tracks, I wondered if NASA can explain if they drove the rover to this point and picked it up and carried it to the spot where there's no tracks. How come we've got two tracks? Which track did it come on? Or did two rovers come here or what? Okay, the next one in the Apollo 15 is this one, AS 15-90-12217. First point to notice is it's been Adobe photoshopped. Okay, in the previous photo, 12217, we were able to view the rear of the rover. Now, what we got here, the next photo, 12218, where we can see the front of the rover. We can see behind the front wheel. And here's a cropped enlarged section of that front wheel. And there you are, as you can see, there is no tracks whatsoever behind the front wheel. Okay, we now come to this photo, AS 15-92-12433. Now, here's one. Looking at the right rear wheel near us, you can see there is no track there because there are loads of boot prints. The only reason you can't see any tracks behind any of the rovers is 1, they picked it up and carried it to another spot, or 2, the astronauts walking around completely obliterated the track. Okay, looking at this one here, we can see there is no track at all behind the rear right wheel because it's been obliterated by the astronauts walking over them. Well, we'll give you the benefit of that as long as you have got the brains and the balls to come up with the answer for the other track. You can see a track from the left rear wheel. But what about this coming up? There you are, folks. Look at that. You can clearly see a track behind the rear left wheel. But if you examine it carefully, we've got three different patterns. We've got the top arrow showing that they are fake because they are 90 degrees. And in the dip, by where I've got the bottom arrow, it is showing there is a V section, so they are correct by there. Now, how did they change, I wonder? And then go to the right arrow, they are completely fake, all 90 degrees. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, we're not just going to be looking at tracks behind the rovers, we're going to be looking at tracks where there's no rovers and find out whether these tracks are genuine or not. Here's a photo, AS15-90-12193. I'm trying to keep them in numerical order here as I stated in the beginning of the video. And you look by here, all these rover tracks are completely fake, folks. Now, here's the next one, AS15-90-12194. And as you can see, it's been photoshopped. And just look at the number of tracks here, folks. Was this astronaut taking part in a rally or some damn thing? Tracks everywhere. But, important thing to notice, every one of them are fake. Indentations 90 degrees to the line of travel, folks. And here we are with the next one, AS15-90-12195. Tracks everywhere. As I said, were they taking part in a rally or what? But what you can see in this, the bottom track, the very left of the photo, you can see there is a part there of a genuine track, but then as you go along to the right, they're all fake. We've got a mixture of correct pattern and incorrect pattern. And here's the next one in line, AS15-90-12196. And as you can see, this has been photoshopped. And again, as you can see, fake tracks, all indentations 90 degrees to the line of travel. Okay, folks, that just about wraps up the investigation into the tracks for the Apollo 15 rovers. Now what we've done, we've covered 21 photos of rovers, and so far there is only one rover that shows the correct track behind one wheel. All the rest are fake, missing, or a combination of fake and correct shape.